The Action Elite interview.
Harry, well, you're in Dubai just now, so what's the reaction at the Comic-Con?
It's really positive. I was surprised at the turnout. It was quite big. It's only second to the New York size. I mean, the San Diego Comic-Con is its own animal. That's far from a Comic-Con. It's almost like the Grammys or something. But so it's actually bigger than the Grammys. What am I talking about? That thing is huge. It's more of a media thing, movies and what have you. But this one is a pure Comic-Con because there's not a whole lot of access to the comic book thing and a lot of the sci-fi stuff. But the patrons are really pure-hearted comic book fans and sci-fi fans.
I find that the international audiences are almost even huger, like fans of the action genre, more than even in North America. Like the majority of our fans are in the Middle East, and we have a lot of fans in Dubai. Are you finding that there's just huge, like almost overwhelming amount of fans there?
Well, it makes sense because, well, in the States, especially martial arts is become very diluted. It's very much it's a business there, and a lot of the other countries has maintained their the legitimate traditional elements of martial arts. That's really kind of it's kind of still. I think in every other country, it's still heralded, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of the reasons because it's been watered down to so much in America. It's really something else. They almost need to call it something else here. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, there. I forgot where I am. Yeah.
So we spoke to Tony a few weeks ago about your upcoming action thriller, Skin Trade. What are you able to tell us about your character, Reed?
Well, I mean, a lot of the characters are really dual. They, somebody who you think is a good guy may turn, and somebody you think is a bad guy may wind up good. It's one of those things where I think keeps you kind of on the edge of your seat for a while, and I like it because those complexities are a lot more interesting than cookie cutter, black hat, white hat type of characters.
Yeah, and it sounds like a sort of pretty hard-hitting storyline, and the action looks really amazing. When I was talking to Tony, we're asking about the toughest scene to shoot, either physically or emotionally. Was there a lot of, because of the sort of serious storyline, did you find it was quite tough to shoot in places?
No, I mean, it was, Tony had had the toughest job of all because, he's flipping upside down and doing things like that. So, and I mean, I think we really lucked out because of it's usually a very hot time during that time of the year in Thailand, but I think the weather kind of worked with us. For a movie, I think it was I don't know. I from my perspective, it was a really cool shoot. No real big obstacles, anything unusual for a movie. I think it ran rather swimmingly.
Yeah. And considering the movie isn't out until either later this year or 2015, it's already generated a lot of positive buzz. What are you most excited about with the film?
Well, I love the fact that it's comprising basically generals in their area. I mean, all within that same genre. Very much like the Expendables, where it's pieced together people who just belong in the movie, and it's just kind of like when it's all together, it just makes too much damn sense. Mm-hmm. Well, in this situation where you've got myself, there's fans know me from Spawn, and you've got RoboCop being played by Peter Weller in the past. You've got Ron Perlman who played Hellboy. And, then Tony Jaa, who's been, amazing in martial arts worldwide. And then, and then you got Dolph Lundgren, who, makes sense in that genre as well. And you've pieced them all together. And it's just something that this type of movie making, they tend to you tend to see a lot of Hollywood debutantes put together in movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to ask them to ask the fans to believe that they're these tough guys. But in this situation, you got guys who you really believe in these situations, So I think just like in the Expendables, it just makes sense. People can live vicariously through these people. They've lived through these people for decades, the last couple of decades anyway, and accepted them as true action people. And putting us all together, I think, just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very much so. Actually, one of the things I was going to ask you was, what can we do to get you into the Expendables series? Because we're desperate for you to be part of these movies.
Well, I think you got to talk to this Sylvester Stallone guy, I guess. But I wouldn't mind doing it. It seems like a real fun franchise, and they seem to be evolving as they go, not devolving. So it's seems interesting. I've heard a lot of good things about the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and I believe it's going to be packed full of like really interesting cameos.
Yeah.
So I just hope that franchise, as a fan, I hope that franchise continues with or without me. It doesn't matter. I'm still a fan of the genre.
Mm-hmm. Well, the important thing is about the Expendables movies is how it seems to have almost regenerated an interest in that old school action, like the R-rated movies that we grew up watching. So, it is sort of responsible for that, really.
Yeah, I think it. I don't. I think it just exposed that it's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard about the Expendables being put together, I proclaimed that it would do tremendous, because there is also, with everybody who wants to sit back and drink a beer and live vicariously through some real ass kickers, it gives them something to look forward to. Out from that, that type of moviegoer will watch movies over and over. Like, I know people who've watched movies I've done like over and over, because not many people are coming out with like true action stuff in the tradition of the Steve McQueens and the Charles Bronsons and Bruce Lee and things like that nature. When people are sophisticated now, they don't want to sit down, and they don't believe a Hollywood actor type that they feel that they can, whose butt they feel that they can kick.
Mm-hmm.
You want to live vicariously through somebody. You got to believe that person. And the Hollywood machine trying to make action heroes out of pretty boys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes but so far.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Moving back to Skin Trade, in the brief teaser a few weeks ago, we got to see a snippet of you and Tony fighting in what looks like a warehouse. How long did that take to put together? Are you able to give us any details on that fight in particular?
Well, yeah, I mean, that fight may or may not be somebody's dream.
Ah, okay.
I'm just trying to throw you off, but I mean, we don't know. I mean, there's like the relationships are very complex, where there's a number of tough guys who you don't know who's on the good side or bad side. My character doesn't know who's good or bad, and there's a feeling out process that requires a lot more feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so it's really interesting, the ebbs and flows of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Are the fights sort of tightly choreographed, or has there been room for improvisation?
Well, usually it's pretty damn tightly choreographed, but there is a piece of improvisation that Tony and I do. That's I wouldn't I'd put out that the thing where
your guys design.
I would say don't try this at home.
Yeah.
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 But I think Tony and I we build up a trust, and I think we have a level of we kind of know each other really well, and a level of control where we can take it a little like further than most. I wouldn't try that, like I said, I wouldn't try it with many other people.
No outside guy ever could have choreographed what you guys did.
He said no outside guy could have ever choreographed what we did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Mike Selby said. I don't want to say that because that sounds a little.
But it's true.
And he said, but it's true.
Yeah.
That's quoting him. Okay. But I mean, I think we're quite proud of what we did. Because it's just like any good scene in an acting situation where you have some of the best scenes where, like, if you say, a lot of the unscripted scenes turn out to be like just galvanized in history.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with that, in this fight scene, we let it breathe and become what it really was. And sometimes there are truths that present themselves in the moment that you could have never foresaw, months and weeks before getting on set. So I think that's one of the evolutions here in this movie, that we get into place and we get creative with the space and just kind of think through the characters and create something that's unique.
Mm-hmm. And if you could describe Skin Trade in one word, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked these type of things. Okay, one word.
Intense, maybe?
Scary. No, no. It's what would the word be?
I know what Jaa would say.
What would he say?
Jaa would say awesome.
Awesome. Piece of cake.
Yeah. It's a what?
Piece of cake.
A piece of cake? Yeah. I guess I would say
Unique.
Yeah, I'd say unique.
Yeah.
I would say it's unique.
Okay, we'll go with that. You're actually working with Tony again on Fast and Furious 7. Now, I know you're probably not able to give too many details away, if any.
I can give far less details than you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in that damn movie. I'm seriously, I am not in that movie. IMDb deserves their ass kicked. I am not in that movie. I don't know
You're
why.
not even at all.
Huh?
You're not in it at all.
I'm not in it at all. IMDb shows me as being in that movie.
Yeah.
I have had so many interviews about people asking about my role in Fast and Furious 7. Not only that, somebody on the internet put me in a trailer for Fast and Furious, and it said the official trailer.
Mm.
I don't know who this is. It's not me, but I'm not in that movie.
Mm.
I'm telling you, it's followed me around so much that I even started doubting myself, and I'm asking, am I really in this movie? And really, I'm not. I'm not.
Right, you're definitely not. Okay.
For something.
So what you're saying is you might appear in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a definite maybe that you'll be in this film.
Yeah.
That would be a movie in and of itself.
Mm.
The guy who appeared in the movie that he didn't know he was in.
Yeah.
That would be the home version of. Good morning.
I do hate when they do that on IMDb because they tell you all this information, and it also says that Tony's in the Raid 3, and I was like, I bet Tony doesn't even know anything about the Raid 3.
Yeah. Tony, guess what? You're in the Raid 3. Do you know that?
Red keys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's not even written yet.
Yeah, it's not even written yet, and say you're in it. I was also in the Surrogates and a few other movies like that when I wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Michael Selby is going to be producing the Raid 3, I heard, as well.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Boy, I'm excited.
Well, one movie we know that you are in is Favela, which is a new series codenamed Falcon. That's being directed by Ernie Barbarash. Can you tell us how that's coming along and when we'll get to see the movie?
Well, we have a release date of September 5th.
Ah.
Yeah, September 5th, we're going out to theaters. We're mounting the campaign, and I'm very excited about it because it's just one of these movies that, like I say, it's within the genre. It's a real kick-ass movie, and it's got something to say.
I never saw Ernie more excited about something he was involved.
Yeah, Mike says he never saw Ernie so excited about something he was involved in. I think it's going to make some statements.
Yeah. For those who don't know, can you tell us about your character, John Chapman?
Was that?
Can you tell us a little bit about the character of John Chapman?
Well, yeah, I really applaud the movie makers, the script in making the lead character a real hero based in reality. He's a Afghan vet who's suffering from PTSD, like so many soldiers who've come from Iraq and Afghanistan. And it shines a light on this, and I think quite responsibly. This character who's having a really tough time, kind of reintroducing himself into a contemporary life, finds out that someone very close to him, played by Layla Ali, who plays my sister, gets in some trouble in Brazil. And he goes to Brazil, doing the thing he knows how to do best, which is, kind of serve up the action.
Anatomical repair work.
Yeah. So it's, and I think it does so in a really smart way. It's a real action hero in a real situation, and I think it's really a kind of an evolution. And it's something I look forward in doing. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. And we're also huge fans of the TV show Arrow, and Ben Turner, Bronze Tiger, is one of the best characters. What's interesting is that he's not sort of an out-and-out bad guy, but he's just in it for the money. Is that what appeals to you about playing him? Is that he's not just a one-note character?
Oh, well, it's a character that has a lot of potential. And if they go the direction of the comic book where he's one of the leaders, that's something that's very appealing in that character. Working with the Arrow guys is incredible. They're a top-notch unit. I love going out there, and I love Canada, and I love working in Canada for one thing. So it's such a class group of people, and really talented. I'd say I was going to call them filmmakers, I guess television show, makers. But I mean, you couldn't get much better than these guys, and they put in a lot of work. So I look forward to any future dealings with them.
Mm-hmm. You've done quite a few.
They're talking about, I think they're putting their toe in the water, testing the waters for the potential spinoff of the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've actually done quite a few comic book movies with like Spawn and The Dark Knight Rises and then Arrow as well. What is it that keeps drawing you to the genre?
I think I make sense in the genre. And it's something that, I think I'm a good fit in that. And I enjoy it. The martial arts go hand in hand. I right wrongs and beat up bad guys for real. So.
And don't forget, the force is very strong with you.
Yeah, as Mike said, the force is very strong with me. So.
Yeah.
Well, you have black belts in several martial arts. What is it appeals to you about that? And is the discipline required for martial arts, has that affected different facets of your own personal life?
Absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of the things that I've achieved in my life and the things that I'm proud about really came about through discipline, and discipline I learned through martial arts. A lot of lot of laymen don't understand what the true gift of it is. They think martial arts is about fighting, and they see the kicks and punches and all fancy stuff, but it's about overcoming obstacles. And from the time you start in martial arts and you put on a white belt, you are pitted against yourself.
That's the profile photo.
Oh, okay.
Like a clean bum. My friend.
Oh, okay. Just show me a picture of a baboon.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like overcoming obstacles like that. You see, where no, but I mean, it's really about overcoming obstacles from the time you first start, and the way you overcome those obstacles is through your own hard work. It's not a team sport. It's not a team effort. It's an individual thing. So when you realize that every time you train, you're pitting yourself against yourself. If you develop that type of discipline, when you apply it to anything, you can overcome any obstacle. And what greater gift is there to give, to yourself, but to learn that you can really achieve anything if you put your mind to it. So that outweighs any surface stuff that you can think of as far as the martial arts. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't take the journey long enough to learn that that's what it truly is about.
Mm-hmm.
And with the martial arts, some of the most popular movies of late, obviously, are the Undisputed films, 2 and 3. When you signed on for that, did you have any idea at the time how big those films would become? And would you be interested in returning for, say, number 4?
I would, depending on if they let me. Well, they let me do a lot with the script on 2. I really wanted to craft. I wanted to use it as my experiment. That can we do a movie that occurred in a dank atmosphere like a prison, and make people care?
Mm-hmm.
And I did some stuff on the character where he had to be he started at one place, and he had to be humble. He had to open himself up to learn other things from the character of the man in the wheelchair, played by Ellie Donker, and also with Scott's character having this ethos that that's very, very obvious, where no matter what, it meant something to him, even though so much else was taken away from the guy, whether he deserved it or not. But it meant something for him to be the best fighter, and he had a certain code of honor that he was going to take my character on at his best, but till that didn't work. But we created these three-dimensional characters in an environment and a genre that is kind of overdone. Cage fighting in a prison. But with the structuring of the characters and the reworking of the script and the beautiful camera work and then directing of Isaac Florentine, we created something that people cared about. I remember the premiere of it. People cried in that theater. Among those, one of my heroes, Jim Brown, the famous football player who was like a surrogate dad to me, actually teared up in the movie theater. And so that, to me, that was an experiment that was really successful, because you can touch people, you can entertain people, and it doesn't really cost extra money to do so. And that's been something that I've been, working on. And, I've started my own production company, and and where I'm looking into coming out with a slate of films that do that same thing, things that entertain and as well as educate and are just like nothing out there. So this is a really exciting time for me to do that, because I'm kind of taking a page out of Tyler Perry's book and creating my own brand.
Right. So you'd be directing some of these, because you did Never Back Down 2, The Beatdown, a few years ago. You looking to do more directing? Yeah,
actually, I'm kind of completing my first draft of Never Back Down 3. They want to do another one, that continues with the character and go on with the case character. So that's one of the projects that I'm working on. So it's a real exciting time for me.
Any plans for directing Fast and Furious 7?
That's not going to get old at all.
That's why I'm in it, because I directed it. No,
yeah.
I don't know anything about Fast and Furious. It's hilarious. I don't know what's going on with that.
What about a Blood and Bone sequel? That's got to be one of the best martial arts movies of the past decade, and people would love to see Bone return. Is there any talk of that at all?
There is a script that is connected to that is far superior than the original Blood and Bone. I think Codename Falcon is, like, if anybody liked Blood and Bone, Codename Falcon is going to really blow their minds, because this is like the character, like, that kind of character blown up to a larger proportion. And I think there are going to be characters, and there's a few things that I'm working with Mike Selby on, and I'm going to be working under my own banner, which is Gigantic Pictures, Gigantic Entertainment. And I think I'm going to be doing a lot more of the hyphen stuff, so there, a few of the projects will be under that banner. I'm also working on a Black Dynamite too.
Excellent.
Love the first one.
Thank you.
As far as well, obviously that was a comedy, but good character, bad character, like a good guy, bad guy, which do you personally prefer to play?
I like the good guy roles. Yeah, I'm comfortable in that space, because it's just kind of it's a very delicate line to weave and play a good guy and still be interesting. Sometimes you got the juicy bad guy roles that kind of like vie to take the attention, but I enjoy that.
That was what was sort of interesting about your role in The Dark Knight, is that you were sort of a bad guy, but it wasn't a physical role. It was you're sort of trying to it was such a sort of intense movie. But did you like doing that, where it was something different, where you weren't fighting or anything, but you were sort of a crime lord without using violence, if you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, if anybody knew my career, I've had more of those dramatic roles than any martial art type thing. In fact, when I first started really acting, I made sure I didn't want to do any action stuff till I was established as a dramatic actor. Because I'd come from New York, being on stage. That's in my background. So I wanted to make sure that was established. And actually, the industry, it's kind of like first impressions last with you. There are entities, movie companies that only know me as that and almost couldn't accept me as the martial arts guy, or thinking that, well, somebody else must have doubled me, in the martial arts, which was the intention I wanted. I wanted people to look at me as an actor first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've done plenty of comedy as well, like working with Tyler Perry as well.
Yeah. We're going to go back and do another season For Better or Worse.
For Better or Worse, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a very varied kind of career, where it's like there's factions here and there that that you wouldn't think all meet in the same place, but it's kind of a grand scheme. It's a chess game, in a way. And it's, what it is like you just have to live to your potential.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that, I know, you don't really see this like a martial arts action hero being a husband and dad in a sitcom, but hey, so be it. If I can do that, I'm really living out my truth. I'm not being stuck in a box. But it tends to confuse a lot of people because from for better or worse to Black Dynamite to Blood and Bone. It's like I like people wondering, well, which guy is he? Who's the real person? As long as they're wondering, and I'm not stuck in a box, it keeps it interesting. I think there's a lot more characters that I can put out there that confuse people even more.
Actually, on a completely random note, what's your favourite line of dialogue from Black Dynamite?
Oh boy. Well, I know my favorite line is not one of mine. Boy, that one.
I can tell you mine.
Huh?
I can tell you mine. As you see, whenever you say "First Lady," I'm sorry, I pimp slapped you into the china cabinet. I say that to people all the time now.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Not to blow my own horn. I like a lot of those lines, but Bullhorn's my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
I think every delivery that Bullhorn made just kind of cracks me up. He really. I don't know why I'm at a loss of my favorite Bullhorn line, but can't think of it right now for some reason. Yeah.
Well, that's it for me. Alex, do you have anything else you want to add?
I was just going to say I saw you on Saved by the Bell yesterday.
Oh, goodness.
And that was probably one of your best roles.
Why, fuck you.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But if that was one of my best roles, that'd be pretty bad.
It was you were the strong, silent type, but you got the point across as the soldier.
Right.
It's not what you said; it's what you didn't say. I think, which really sold the character for me.
Yeah. See, that's that Canadian sense of humor that I love so much. I can tell you're a Canadian, right?
I am indeed, yes.
Where are you?
I'm based just north of Toronto.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell. That's why I like you guys so much. Wait a minute. I think I might. It's a shame, but I think I might remember the line from Saved by the Bell in '91. I mean, he's talking about '91. AC Slater, you are accused of aiding and abetting a person impersonating you're engaged in aiding and abetting a person impersonating a soldier to a United States congressman. Oh, there's one word I'm off on.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. But it was quite a shock to see you on there because I'd not seen it on IMDb, and we all know how accurate that is. But I was watching that, I'm like, hey, wait a second, this guy's going to get his ass kicked. But no, he didn't. But I thought, hey, look at you, good for you.
That's one of the first things I did in L.A. when I just moved there, and that's weird because I was going to an audition for something, and basically walked by a casting director who asked me to come in and read for that.
Nice.
This is one of those, I was in the right place at the right time.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, and because of that, everything else has happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys, and we're really looking forward to Fast and Furious 7. And good luck with Skin Trade as well. Really looking forward to that.
Okay, go ahead. This is Michael Jai White.
This is Michael Jai White. He is missing.
And Tony Jaa.
And Tony Jaa, he is missing. He is a real guy. He has problem. He has feeling. But he is strong. Me too strong.
Okay, we'll do it. Okay, ready? And action.
Go.
This is Michael Jai White.
Is Michael Jai White.
Okay, you say this is Tony Jaa. Okay, and
I'm
what?
joking, I'm funny.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
And go.
This is Mike. Okay.
What? Oh,
All right. This is Michael Jai White,
is Tony Jaa.
and you are watching Action Elite Keep Action Alive. No, let's just do that better.
I can't believe this guy was on Saved by the Bell. Seriously.
This is Michael Jai White.
Is Tony Jaa.
No, wait a second. Let's do that one more time. There's somebody in the background.
And
Oh, back
All right. Hi, this is Michael Jai White
I'm Tony Jaa.
with Action Elite. Keep action alive. I like when he hit the deep voice on it.
Yeah, I know. It's like
I'm Tony Jaa.
All right, well, that wraps it up for me. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat, guys. It's much appreciated, and hope you continue to enjoy yourselves in Dubai.
All right.